Well. Happy New Year, everybody. My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jared Bear. This is the first Sunday video update of 2025. Today's date is Sunday, January 5th, 2025. Joining me off camera this week is my dad, and Amy's out in the kitchen. And we've got our dogs. I've got my house. Last week, I did say that I was going to have all this cleaned off. Well, we got sidetracked doing other things, so I do apologize for not sticking true to the plans that I had. I'm kind of disappointed in myself for not getting started on any of this stuff, but eventually it's going to be cleaned off. Mark my words, it will be cleaned off. So the week in review, wow, what a week. So New Year's Eve, I got trashed. I got fucking drunk. So dad bought a 6-pack. We drank that down. Plus we have butterscotch schnapps that we got from my grandpa after he passed away. We drank half. That was half the bottle, wasn't it?
Yeah, but we finished off one bottle.
And one bottle had just a little bit in it.
So we
We finished that. And then we started on the next bottle. We went through half of that, and I got schnackered. It was a lot of fun though. I remember watching the ball drop, and I had music playing, and we were just rocking out, man. I had the music playing, and we were all feeling good, and we were celebrating the New Year, just the three of us here at home. We stayed home. Actually, yeah, we did stay home. Well, I told dad, I said, we're out of beer. I said, we got to go get another 6. So dad was my designated driver. We went up to Fast Lane on M52. We got another 6. Came back home, drank that. I don't even remember passing out. But I woke up with a hangover the next day. I sat up in bed, and the room started spinning. And it's like, oh God. But I never got sick. I don't get sick from drinking. And then I slept. The rest of the day I slept until 5 o'clock, something like that, 6 o'clock. New Year's Day was just nothing of sleep. So, I spent my entire New Year's Day sleeping. I went to Saginaw yesterday. I went to a store called Video Games Plus. It's out on Tittabawassee and Mackinac, for those of you who are familiar with Saginaw. And I got an RCA to AVI cable for my Super Nintendo. I finally got it working, and I conquered Super Mario 3 and Super Mario World, but I died. I lost on Super Mario 2, and I was like, fuck. And I rage quit. But it was still a lot of fun trying. And I haven't played these games in quite a long time. But it was a lot of fun. I was playing the video game for like 5 hours. It's like, wow, I didn't even realize it was 5 hours had passed. Because when I started playing, it was like 6 o'clock, 5 or 6 o'clock. And then I looked down at my phone. It's after midnight already? Holy shit. I didn't realize I was on this long. So I shut it off and went to bed. But it was still a lot of fun, brought back some memories. And I'm shocked that I remember a lot of the secret hiding spots in those video games. Yeah, it was just a lot of fun. And paid bills last week. And what else did I do? Boy. I don't know. I just paid bills last week. Oh, we were out at the Pine Run Inn too for the New Year's Eve Monday flashback. There will not be a Sunday flashback tonight because the Detroit Lions football game will be airing on 103.9 The Fox. They are taking on the Vikings tonight. And I don't know when kickoff is. I think it's 7:15? 8:20 is kickoff time. Do you know what network that's on? What channel? Is it CBS 25 or channel 46? I can check for those of you who may be curious as to, is it NBC? Oh, my nose hairs are showing. I'm gonna have to get a nose hair trimmer. It's on NBC. There's probably people out there who are watching and would just like to know. Lions versus Vikings. Yeah, that's tonight. Yeah, what? CBS Sports. Lions versus Vikings, top DraftKings. Um, Lions versus Vikings channel and time. NBC. Okay, yep. Amy was right. The Minnesota Vikings versus Detroit Lions game on Sunday, January 5th, which is today, will air on NBC, kicking off at 8:20 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So yeah, go get them, boys. I'm really not a football fanatic, but after watching a few of these games and watching and listening to my dad swear at the television set, like, "Come on, you run, motherfucker!" I'm starting to get into these games a little bit. It's like I don't really understand football, but what I do understand is they have to go to the opposite end of the field to get the touchdown, the end zone. And then they hopefully, when they get the field goal, hopefully they kick it and they're going to kick it, but hopefully it's good. And yeah, I'm wearing a Shrine Circus t-shirt from 2009. I got tickets for the Shrine Circus too when I was in Saginaw. I did that on Wednesday. And oh my God, I can't believe the prices. I cannot believe it. I paid $60 for 3 tickets. $60, $20 a piece. It's like, wait a minute here. Because they're 15 a piece. Plus, on top of that, a $5 venue fee for the Dow. It's like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, that doesn't count parking. Not to mention, we pay property taxes on this building. This is my building. Dow belongs to the residents of Saginaw County, the taxpayers. Why are you charging me a venue fee? When did you start doing this shit? I love going to the Dow. I love going to the circus, but it's getting expensive. And yeah, I got one of these coupons too, which I should have looked into these a little more. It's the Shrine Glow Circus. So putting the old trusty specs back on again. It's a coupon. So the Shrine Glow Circus, they're going to be at the Dort Financial Center in Flint from Friday, January 17th until Monday, January 20th. Then they're going to be in Saginaw at the Dow Event Center from Friday, January 24th, which is the day that we're going to be there, until Sunday, January 26th. So they're in Flint longer than they're in Saginaw. I don't really quite understand that. On the back it says 8,000 pound glow in the dark elephant. Glow in the dark elephant. Now that might be pretty fucking cool. Amazing BMX action. Okay, so BMX, that would be like the bikes, which I always love those. Exotic animal rides, shimmering face painting, breathtaking high wire thrills, and mind-blowing globe of death. So they're going to have the motorcycle and the round cage again, which that I always enjoy that. I really enjoy that. But not as much as I enjoy reading comments from Chewing Off My Toenail. He left a few comments in the chat log, and if you can't see them, well, I shall read them to you. First one is when the ball dropped on New Year's Eve, so did mine. I spiked a punch with my toenails on New Year's Eve, and a few people got sick. That made my year. You asshole. I always refrigerate my toenails to keep them green and crusty. Ew. And then the last one is, I'm happy to report that January's toenails are currently growing in. I'll bake those into biscuits for supper. Thank you, Toenail, for the first set of gross but humorous comments for the year 2025. I'll see you again next week sometime. And yeah, So there you have it. Those are comments from Toenail. This week, I'm not sure what's happening this week. I was thinking about going out to the Pine Run tomorrow night for the Monday flashback, depending on how the roads are going to be, because I'm not sure if we're expecting more snow or yeah. I have to look at my money and see how much money I have. And of course, taking into account the road conditions and things. But there will not be a Sunday flashback tonight because of the Lions football game. They're going to be going against the Minnesota Vikings, as I had just pointed out. So, what else to talk about? There was something I actually wanted to talk about today. Helping people. Yeah, it's true. I love helping people. I absolutely love helping people. It's probably one of the greatest joys of my life, and helping people thrive and putting smiles on the faces of someone else is, for me, powerful. I absolutely love to help people. I love especially the cancer warriors, the families of the cancer warriors. I love helping people. That is just something that I love to do. It's one of my greatest joys. But there's also a limit to what you can and can't do for other people, and I think most people forget that. Now, I understand when you have a family, you know, we everybody falls on hard times. There's always gonna be the financial hardship when you have a family. But of course, see, that's why I never had kids. One of the reasons why I never had kids, because I understand that children get expensive and, you know, condoms are much cheaper than diapers, that kind of thing. And it's much cheaper than child support, the years of child support that you have to pay into the courts. Um, Condoms are always much cheaper than that. And with that being said, I can't always help people. As much as I want to, I can't, because I also have bills, despite the fact that I don't have children and I'm not married and I'm not seeing anybody. I still have to pay bills. I still have bills coming in my name. Those bills have to be paid. And then the money that I have left after I pay my bills, yes, I like to treat myself. I like to splurge a little bit. But I also have a limit on how much I can spend. It's not a set limit that is made up by somebody else. That limit is made up by me, because I have to make sure that these bills get paid for next month, and so on and so forth. I have to make sure that my bills always come first before anything else. Yeah, no one else is paying them. I have to pay my bills. Bills have to come first. And as much as I love helping people, there's going to be times when I can't.
Especially people that you don't even fucking know.
And I run into this issue where, and I'm not going to say names, but there's people who say, "Hey, you got a few bucks to spare so I can get some formula and diapers for my kid or whatever." And while I typically would be the first one to stand up and do that, my thought is, where's the father of this child? You know, we if you live in a state where you get snowfall, shovel driveways. Get out and shovel a driveway. Shovel some driveways, make some money. If you need it badly enough, get out there and do something to get it. You have to help yourself first, or ask a closer relative. Because I can't always be the person to do it. I'm not a bank. I don't have ATM written on my forehead. And as much as I would love to help anybody in their time of need, I can't always do it. And I don't feel guilty about not being able to help people, because I have to help myself first. And if you can't help yourself first, then how can you expect other people to want to help you? You have to be financially responsible. And again, and I know this might ruffle some feathers, but having children in 2025 is really fucking financially irresponsible, if in my opinion. Um, no, not in this day and age. No, there's just no way. Yes, you love your kids, and I get that. I have this conversation all the time. Well, I don't regret my kids and blah, blah. Well, of course, you can't say that now because they're here. Now, I don't have kids, so I can say with confidence that I would be making a huge fucking mistake bringing kids into the world that I am not prepared to care for, financially or emotionally. It's a two-tier thing. You have to be mentally stable and emotionally strong enough to care for children,
You should have. You taking care of
and
my eldest kid.
you have to have the money. What do you people think what do you think having children is? It's not babysitting. You don't take the kids for a few hours and send them back home. Having kids is it's around the clock. Didn't anybody tell you that? It is one of those around the clock things. Being a parent never stops until you die. That's always going to be there. You know, there are ways of doing things. It's just people are, I don't want to say they're lazy,
I do.
but it's like, you know what? If you are in a financial bind where you need money to get formula or diapers, there are places locally in your hometown or nearby that can help you.
Churches.
There's churches, there's baby pantries, there's just the health department, there's all kinds of programs out there to help you. And I understand there's people who don't like to ask for help. I'm one of those people. You can ask my dad. I don't even ask him for help.
But I offer it.
I don't ask Amy for help. Even when my mom was alive, I never asked her for a thing. I don't ask people for shit.
Yeah, now you got people coming from her side that you
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, and it's not
Fucking irritates me.
but it's not that I don't like to help people. It's just y'all got to help yourselves sometimes. You know? I mean, you can't run to me every time you have a problem.
Irritates the shit out of me.
Oh, one person liked the video and then they unliked it. Yeah, fuck off. Yeah, because the truth hurts, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, but that's the way it is.
You're right.
I can't be, I didn't sign up for that life. I'm not the one who got someone pregnant and gee golly willikers, now I'm in a bind because for some reason
Can't take care.
I can't take care of my family. Things got expensive. Well, you can put your hair appointments and your nail appointments and your fucking tattoo appointments
Gotta be dad.
on the back burner. Some things are more important than some stupid tattoo or getting your hair done or getting your nails done. Guess what? You can do your own fucking nails.
Or gotta be father.
Yeah, or a deadbeat father. Yeah, that's another discussion. And this is going to piss some people off, but I don't care. Um,
New Year.
it's ridiculous to me that so many people they come to me begging for help. I don't want anybody to beg for help, and I don't mind helping people. I love helping people. It's one of the biggest joys of my life is helping other people. However, there's a limit to how much I can do, which is why when I help people, I do it out of the kindness of my own heart, and I know my finances well enough to where I'm able to help somebody else, even if it is just a one-time thing. Um,
But then when you help one time, they want you to do it.
Yeah.
Do it and do it and do it. And
Yeah.
Do it.
When I do it once and they expect it all the time.
Yeah, no.
Well, I can't do that. I'm sorry. You know.
Well,
Um,
he'll help us again. He helped us the first time. That ain't gonna happen. Get out and get yourself a fucking job
I'm just
or help.
And it sounds horrible. I know it sounds horrible that I'm saying this, that I can't help everybody. But a lot of y'all need to start helping yourselves. And by helping yourselves, I'm not saying help yourself to my wallet. I'm saying help yourselves by getting off your asses and doing something. You signed up for this life. I didn't. People think that, oh, Jared doesn't have kids, so he doesn't have bills. Want to bet? Try again. I have bills. I have to survive too. I have to make sure that my car insurance is paid. I have to make sure, hold on. I have to make sure that my car insurance is paid. I have to make sure that my internet is paid so I can come back to you every week here on YouTube, because without internet, really don't have much. I have to make sure that other bills, I have financial responsibilities. Like today, a payment went out today for a loan I'm paying back. So I have all of these financial responsibilities. Just because I don't have kids, I didn't pile children onto the plate of responsibilities, doesn't mean that I don't have responsibilities. And when I help people, I do it out of the kindness of my heart. I have the money, and it's like, yeah, I can do this. I have an idea. Of course I can do this. I've helped lots of people in the past. But there are some things that I can't do it. And y'all should be helping yourselves. Y'all should be figuring out ways to get money to get what you need. And there's a limit. I'm sorry, but there is just a limit. I have to when I help people, I'm still within my means, because I make sure that I've still got money for myself while making sure that my bills are paid. So I'm balancing I'm budgeting my own money. And I can't include you in my budget just at the snap of a finger, because I have other financial obligations and responsibilities and commitments that I have to follow through with. If you get snow, like I said, shovel driveways to earn the money to go out and get what you need for your child. He had to.
I did for a long time.
I mean, that's what you call
Buy diapers, buy food.
that's what you call surviving. You do what you got to do. And again, the county can help you. There's churches, there's baby pantries, there's the health departments. There's all kinds of agencies and organizations that can help you.
And you can get condoms from the health department, people.
Yeah, you can get condoms from the health department. Much cheaper than child support.
Yeah.
I should know.
Not cheaper than being in jail.
Yeah.
How you gonna pay it when you're in jail?
Yeah, because when the front of the court issues a warrant for your failure to pay child support, bye-bye. You should have wore a condom.
Just like they told me. You got shoes, you got black garbage bags,
Yep.
walking.
Yep. And I'm not suggesting that condoms are 100% effective. They're like 99.999999 or something like that. But even still, even if the condom breaks, you can't say you didn't wear a condom. Or if you choose not to wear a condom, make sure your pull-out game is strong enough, so that way you don't end up with a lifetime of responsibilities that you can't take care of. I don't know. I like to use this head more than that head down there. I don't know. I guess I'm an outsider in that regard, because I didn't procreate. I didn't breed. Well, okay.
You talk to a lot of elderly people, Jared, or people my age, they'll say, I wouldn't have no more kids at this age.
When you're elderly, I hope not.
No, but I'm saying though,
You can't when you're elderly.
At this day and age, I wouldn't have kids.
I've never heard of a 90-year-old woman giving birth.
No, I've heard of 50 or 60-year-olds.
Yeah, and that kid is likely to be born with health issues. They call that a geriatric birth or whatever. I don't know. All I know is there are people who they're either bad with money or they just make bad choices, bad decisions. And yeah, I'm not perfect. I've made a lot of bad financial decisions, but I have good credit. My bills are paid. And there's been times when I've gambled money that I probably should have pocketed. I probably should have kept it in my pocket. And it's like, well, I might need this for later. But no, I blew it, gambled it away.
But then all your bills are paid.
Yeah, but all my bills are paid first. See, and I don't have kids. Again, I don't have the responsibility of caring for another human being. I don't have that on my plate. And
This is not just me, Jared. There's people out there that have kids that don't take care of them. Then there's people out there that want kids and can't have them.
mm-hmm.
And that's what really hurts. Knowing that people want children, they can't have them because of medical
problems.
Medical problems.
Yes.
But yeah, there's people out there that have 8, 10 kids and don't give a rat's ass.
My saying is, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Exactly.
Just because you can have kids, you can reproduce, it doesn't really mean you should. And everybody's talking about, well, what if the human population, what if human beings become extinct? So what? No, it's not that, Dad. It's not that. Stay on topic. People are worried about the human population going extinct. It has nothing to do with the government. And what I'm saying is, who cares? You're not going to know it anyway because you'll be fucking dead. We'll all be dead. No one's going to give a fuck because we'll all be gone. And the kids that we could have had, we didn't. So they're not existent. Therefore, what's it going to matter when I'm dead? What's it going to matter when you're dead? Other species will rejoice. They will live on. I mean, this fear of humans going extinct. Well, what the human being does not need to sustain and survive. I can tell you that. We don't need to carry this shit on. Like there's just why? Because you had a one night stand and bada boom, now you got a kid. We were watching Maury Povich the other day. It was a repeat from 2016. And of course, Maury Povich he became popular for the, finding out who the father of these children are and everything. And the fucking nerve of these people. These women go on there thumbing through all these different guys. Well, it could be this one. Oh, but it could be that one. Look at the eyes. Hell, it might even be this guy over here. But you try to make the men look bad. Now, if you slept with multiple men and you don't know who the father of your child is, that should tell you something. And then they try to make the man sound bad because the guy says, "Look, if it's not my kid, it's not my kid. I don't want to be paying for someone else's child." And they make good points. It's a valid point. I wouldn't want to pay for someone else's kid.
But this is my thing on that, Jared, is when they bring them women out there and the guy's been with that child since they're born.
Yeah.
And him thinking that's his kid.
Yeah.
Gets so attached to it and loves
right.
it and everything else, then all of a sudden you're going to Maury Povich or whatever and finding out you're not the dad.
Right.
That really kills me.
Yeah.
When they do that to a man.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Because you're with that child since day one, since the day it's born. And that child only grows up knowing you as the father. And then it comes out later on that you're not the child's biological father. What that does to a man is just devastating. And you women, and you can take this any way you want it, but you women need to start taking some responsibility for who you fucking sleep with.
Yeah. Know who that daddy.
Yeah. Because I gotta tell you that's devastating, especially when it's a man who wants to he stepped up to the plate since the day that child was born. And he thinks that that's his child, and the child thinks that that man is the daddy, the father. And then the woman says, "Well, hold up. You might not be the dad. It could be your brother. It could be your cousin. It could be your best friend. It could be, somebody who's not you, but we're really close to." What the fuck is that? You know? And I'm not here to woman shame, by the way. We're not doing any woman shaming because, there's a lot of men who are also irresponsible. They have sex with multiple women and get multiple women pregnant and want nothing to do with any of the kids.
I'm not the father. Man, you are the father.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about men now.
Yeah, that's what
There are men who want nothing to do with the children.
Yeah.
This is not just a woman thing. This also goes for the men.
He's for the men too.
They make the babies and want nothing to do with them. And I know a person right now, but I'm not going to say their name. Want nothing to do with the child. Didn't even acknowledge the child on Christmas. Oh, now Jesus Christ, who's calling in the middle of my fucking live stream? Who is that?
Hello.
Who was it, Dad?
Sitting around.
Yeah, take it out of my stream, please. I'm mid-sentence. But there are more than enough men who they just don't want to take on the responsibility of the children that they help to create, and that to me is also disgusting and it's irresponsible. I love kids. I would have loved to have had kids of my own at some point in my younger days, but I had to live for a little while. And it's like, well, I'm experiencing life. Things are starting to get more expensive. The cost of living has gone up. This is not something that I want for myself. And you have people who um sorry about that, guys. Who is that, Dad? I'm asking you who it is. They know I do my Sunday video. Yeah, they're not coming here because I'm in the middle of doing. I'm sorry for the dead air, guys. But I'm really, it's not just a woman thing. It's not just a man thing. It's both. It says people have to start being responsible. That's all. They have to start being responsible. For me, there's too much at stake for me to want to have kids. I didn't want to make this Sunday video update into, child-free conversation. But it just happened to turn out that way. I mean, of course, you love your kids. You plan on having your kids. But now my point is now you're hunkered down. Now you're nailed down with responsibility that you can't escape. And if you do, you're a shit parent. And I would much rather be child free than than one of these people out here who bail on their responsibilities. They have kids and just want nothing to do with them. I would much rather just have no kids at all. I mean, I'm single, I'm child free, and it's just a life that works. Do I get lonely sometimes? Yeah, of course I do. Of course, it does get lonely sometimes. I don't like this idea of, like I wake up every day and it's like, yeah, single for another day, no one out there for me. And I have those moments, especially when when I was drinking on New Year's Eve. It's like, God, no, there is nobody for me out there. It's like, what the fuck? But I was drinking too. So it's like, these are alcohol induced emotions that I'm going through. But being sober like I am now, I'm just glad that I don't. Somebody here?
No, we're getting ready to head out.
Oh.
We're gonna go meet Tony and Gracie.
Of course.
At McDonald's.
Of course, I don't know why I ask you guys if someone's here, because I have cameras on my fucking house where I can just look through the camera and, oh yeah, by the way, someone's in the driveway, you know.
Yeah, it's not only for when you're gone, Jared.
Yeah, no one's here.
We're gonna go meet Tony and Gracie.
Yeah.
Up at McDonald's.
That's what I just told him.
Yeah. Let me know how the roads are.
Yeah, I will.
So what brings them back this way?
He's trying to get a title for a truck.
Oh. Okay. I didn't want to turn the Sunday video into parental talk, but it's something that just weighs heavily at, you know. And I understand, you know, people want to have families of their own. Sure. I'd love
to have more, but
I would have loved when I was younger, in my teens and 20s, I would have loved to have had a family of my own.
I would have loved to have at least one and gave you a brother or sister, but
you know, but I mean it
just don't work that way.
No, and it's just gotten expensive.
Well, sometimes too, your body tells you, hey, it's enough.
Yeah, well, and you're, you know, I don't want to reveal an age, but you have a biological clock, whereas men, we don't have a biological clock.
Well, sometimes that biological clock ends up being a medical reason why you have.
Well,
can't have.
But even a broken clock is right at least twice a day. But when it comes to, no, not, I understand some of the biology, like if it's for medical reasons or.
Yeah, like well, mine wasn't really medical reasons. Mine was because.
Or when you reach menopause or whatever the case, isn't that when it's time? You know, like the body says, "Hey, we're done."
Yeah.
When you reach menopause, it's like no more.
Yep. When you don't have more periods, you're good to go.
You're not producing any more.
Nope.
Vulva or whatever it's called, or you're not ovulating.
Well, you got your
women who wear hats.
Wears them. You got your Jews that wear them.
Mennonite.
You're not producing ovum. That's what I meant to say. Ovum. Mennonite. What about it?
Mennonite.
Oh. You're not producing ovum. That's what I meant to say. Ovum. No, ovum. 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 All right.
Enjoy your video, good.
So looks like I'm riding solo for the rest of the way.
Peace out. Be safe.
There you go. Are you bringing food back or no? Okay. Damn. Yeah, we do. We got food here. Couldn't help but ask. Hey, can't shoot me for trying, right? But yeah, so now it's just me and you. So I'm just talking to you. Yeah, I did want to turn the Sunday video into a discussion about, you know, I'm not I'm not against having kids across the board. I think, you know, if you're able to financially support the children you have and you stick to the responsibility, that's great. If you can afford it. But for certain people, because I see this a lot on even on Facebook, and it's mainly the women who are being attacked. Well, you know, you would make a great mother and you should be, you know, have a kid and blah, blah, blah. But they don't want that. They don't want that in their lives. And there's lots of guys who also speak up about not wanting, they don't care about legacy. They don't want to carry on with someone. They don't want their legacy to take human form after they're gone. It's just something they don't want. And I think for me, the reason why I wanted kids when I was younger is for the reasons of legacy. And because I wanted to start out, if I was going to have kids, I wanted to start out young having them. And, you know, so I could watch them grow up and I'd still be able to, you know, get down on the floor and play with them and chase them around and do stuff with them. That's why I wanted to have kids at a young age. I'm going to be 40 next year. And it's like, nah, I'm just going to be too old now. Even if I wanted kids, I don't think I could. But kids are expensive, man. Kids are expensive as hell. And it's not like when we were growing up, I was born in the 80s, and back then it was cheaper, much cheaper. And I don't know how people do it. I don't know how they pull it off in 2025, but they do. And it's kind of mind-boggling to me how people are able to pay. I mean, if you have a good paying job, sure, then it's a no-brainer. But even still, it just seems like that's a setback, a financial setback. And I have no doubt that I was a financial setback for my parents. I probably was, most assuredly. I mean, I had cancer as a child, so that was very emotionally taxing. But see, you can't predict something like cancer. You can't predict that. That's just something that happens. But going into parenthood, you know for a fact that you're going to pay a price, and it doesn't matter what the price is, you're going to pay it. But anyway, I have spent more than enough time talking about the subject. Let's see. Tomorrow, not knowing what my finances are going to be, I might go out to the Pine Run Inn for the Monday flashback there at the corner of M54 and M57. They're just east of Clio. I will be out there tomorrow night. So if you're local and if you're looking for a hangout spot, come on out to the Pine Run Inn. You'll get to meet Dan Richards and his lovely wife, Georgianne, and some of my other friends out there, Terry and Kenny and Wayne and Donna and Dave and Evelyn and the bartender Jessica, which she is just so gorgeous. There's just a lot of nice people out there. Brendan, he's a bartender. And Jessica's a waitress, and she's just drop dead beautiful. She's just gorgeous. But they're all good people out there. April, I think, was out there. A waitress named April. She was out there, I think, last week or the week before that. They're just really friendly people. It's a friendly atmosphere. I've never had any issues out there at the Pine Run Inn. There are good people out there. Tiffany runs the Facebook page, the Pine Run Inn Facebook page. She is really super sweet, and they're all nice. I mean, they're just all nice people out there. I really have a good time. So I'll be out there tomorrow if Dad decides to go, I'm going to have to kind of light a fire under him so we can get out there early enough. Because I don't want it to be like last week where we get out there, 4 or 5 o'clock. It's like, I want to get there early enough so I can eat, take a shit, and then, socialize with my friends out there. And when Dan and Georgianne show up, I'll socialize with Dan and Georgianne. She comes up, gives me a hug sometimes, and there's other days she doesn't, which it's okay. I don't mind that. But she always comes to me. I don't go to her. There's a regular out there at the Pine Run, and his name, Steve. He comes up and he'll just come right up to Georgia and just embrace her. And you can tell it's like, whoa, like, where did this come from? And I'm thinking to myself, dude, it's, and I'm thinking to myself, she's going to say something to you. She's going to get tired of this and she's going to say something to you, but she doesn't. She just tries to be nice and she wants to be nice to everybody, but there's sometimes you just can't be nice. You got to say, hey man, just kind of cool it, just kind of back off a little bit. I understand you're trying to be friendly, but we're not at that point yet. And we probably will never be at that point. Just take it easy, But other than that, I love going out to the Pine Run Inn. It's a lot of fun. And we share jokes and listen to music and eat great food and laugh. I laugh so hard when I'm out there. When I go out there, I shut my mind off from other things that bug me from the week before, and it's a nice way of just forgetting about life for a few hours and hanging out with people and spending time with friends and just having conversations it's an oasis for me, as Dan puts it. It's a Monday night oasis. I enjoy going. I love going out there. It's a lot of fun. But that's probably where I'll be tomorrow, depending on how the finances shake out. I know for a fact I'm going to call my on my account to see what the balance is, because they took out a payment today. So depending on how things go, I'll probably be out there tomorrow, but if not, you'll know that it's for financial reasons or lack thereof, because we got taxes to pay next month. And yeah, that's another thing about not having kids. I never had kids, but yet I still have to pay a school tax. So I'm paying for other people's lifestyle choices. Yeah, but it's whatever. Um, so now it's just me and my 3 snoring dogs for another, I don't know, about 15 minutes. This hour goes by so fast. Um, but I'm hoping that this will be a good year. I don't like to jinx myself. Dad always says, "Well, I hope the next year will be better," but he says this every year, and I have to remind him that, you said that last year, and look what happened. We ended up in a shithole or a shit heap of problems. So let's not wish for it this year. Um, but deep down we do, and I guess it really doesn't matter. Um, some things are just meant to be. You're either going to have a good year or you're not going to have a good year. Last year kind of sucked, because I ended up in jail for some shit that I never did. And um, yeah, and I got through that and I'm back home. But, I still think about that. It's like, I've never been there in my life ever. I've never been in jail. Not a day in my life I've never been there. And now, then I found out I had a warrant for my arrest. It's like, well, why doesn't anybody tell me this shit? If I had a warrant for my arrest, first of all, I would have to know what the warrant is for. And secondly, I would take care of it. But if I'm not notified, how am I going to know? But it's done and over with. And I'm happy to be home. And I'm home alone right now. So, I guess what I can do is, we had some, actually, Jimmy Carter passed away. Did I say that last week? I don't remember. I think I think I did announce Jimmy Carter's death. Um, he died at age 100 on the 29th. So I don't think I reported that. I don't think I reported on. Yeah, Jimmy Carter passed away at the age of 100. Dad met Carter back in 1977. Um, Dad, according to Dad, he met Carter in 77, might have been 78. Um, Dad was in Fort Benning, Georgia, and they had a graduation ceremony. The platoon had a graduation ceremony in Fort Benning, Georgia. And they were all standing in formation, and Carter was going around shaking the hands of each of the soldiers. And Dad told me that when Carter shook his hand, Dad says, "Thank you very much, Mr. President." And what a memory to have. What an awesome memory to have. I don't know if Dad met Walter Mondale, because Mondale, of course, being Carter's vice president. I don't know if Dad met Walter Mondale, but I asked him, and he said he doesn't remember. I have to ask Uncle Tim when I talk to him again. Um, I don't know. I think vice presidents go to the graduation ceremonies for the platoons. I think, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. But I'm pretty sure they do. I'm pretty sure they do. No one's commenting in the chat. Just Toenail. If anybody knows, leave a comment. While we're live, I'm going to be here for about another 10 minutes and then I'm out the door because I got some other stuff I have to do. Gwen Van Dam, character actress, dead at 96. Gwen Van Dam doesn't even sound familiar. Gwen Van Dam, a prolific character actress who appeared in TV and film, has died. She was 96. Van Dam's death was confirmed by her son, Dirk Smiley, who told our sister site, The Hollywood Reporter, that she died in her Los Angeles home on December 19th after a recurrence of cancer. Oh, that's too bad. Starting off her decades-long career in the 50s, Van Dam's first TV roles included Dark Shadows, The Brady Bunch as a teacher who gushed about Marcia in front of Jan in the episode Her Sister's Shadow and Mannix. She was on Mannix, too. Van Dam's other TV credits included Where the Bears Are, Days of Our Lives, The French Atlantic Affair, Moonlighting, Pushing Twilight, and One Mississippi. She played Mrs. Trotter in 4 episodes of Prime Video's Homecoming, starring Julia Roberts, and most recently appeared in Prime Video's As We See It and Hulu's Interior Chinatown. Van Dam's many film roles included a sanitarium nurse in John Carpenter's original Halloween, Stand By Your Man, Stir Crazy, and Star Trek Generations. She was in Stir Crazy? Didn't know that. And I like Stir Crazy, if it's the same Stir Crazy I'm thinking of, with Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor. That's the only Stir Crazy I know, and that's fucking funny as hell. Gwen Van Dam, she was 96 years old. It doesn't sound familiar. You know, like I know Jean-Claude Van Damme. I don't know if that is any relation, if it was his mom, or I don't know. Actually, I could look it up. See, I just had Google. And, then I close it, but I open it again. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Oh, it's spelt differently. Okay, so no, that wasn't his mom. Spelt differently. Okay. Well, that answered my question. So this is the first Sunday video update of the new year. I'm really thrilled to continue on this journey, I guess, is if that's what you want to call it. Just doing my thing, and y'all keep coming back and watching my videos. So hopefully I'm making some good points here, because obviously you wouldn't be coming back if you weren't. Or if you just like to listen to me talk endlessly about pointless shit, well, that's okay too. Yeah, someone is just, I don't mind helping people, like I said, but I'm checking Facebook right now. I don't mind helping people, but there's just got to be a limit. There's got to be a limit. I can't be everywhere for everyone all the time, as much as I would love to be. I just can't. And it's nothing against them. It's not a slight on those people who are in need of help. We all need help. Everybody needs help once in a while. And I don't want to make it sound like it's a burden, because it's not a burden. People ask me for help all the time. And it's not a burden. But the thing is, I can't always fulfill the wishes of those people who come to me asking for help. And it hurts me, because I would love for nothing more than to help people. And help as many people as I can, but it's not always the case. I can't always do it, because my resources are very limited, and I can't always be there for everybody as much as I want to be. But yeah, and these people also have to remember that, if you're able-bodied to have kids, then be able-bodied enough to get out there and earn a little extra money on the side, even if it means shoveling driveways, just doing small jobs where you can get paid a few bucks here or there. You got to do something. And I understand asking people like, hey, because it can take a lot out of you. And it's a risk when you're, helping someone else out and then something happens to where they don't want to pay you and then you're stuck in that situation. I totally understand that. But you signed up for this life. Your kids come first, which they should. That's you're right. Your children should always come first. But I didn't sign up for this. They're not my kids. Like, I'm sorry, but I can't. You have to figure out what you're going to do. It sounds mean to say. I know it sounds horrible. It sounds horrible. Well, they're not your kids, so you don't care. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that, where there's a will, there's a way. If you can go out and make a few bucks on the side, I suggest you do that first. Because that might be more successful than going around asking people for the help. That's if you're able. That's if you're able to do it. But again, if you're able to lay down and make a baby, you should be able to do a lot of things. And of course, there's people who just don't want kids. Like me, I don't want kids. It's too much. It's just too much for some people, and that's okay. My nieces and nephews, I can love them and give them back to their parents. They're not my responsibility 24/7 around the clock. So I'm happy with that. We are down to the final 3 minutes of the Sunday video update. And I also want to say that, okay, let's say if I did find a woman and I found out that she was pregnant, like if we did the wild thing and I got her pregnant, okay, then I'm going to take on the responsibility. I'm not going to be one of these guys, well, I'll be there if he ever needs me. No, I'm the child's father. I'm going to be there for my child. That's just the final note that I wanted to say about that. But we are in the last 3 minutes of the Sunday video update. I am so glad that you guys could stop in and listen to me talk for the last hour. I have other things I got to do. I want to get this cleaned off. I did say last week that this would be gone by the time I got back today. But as you can see, it's still a fucking mess. I will get it cleaned. Just be patient with me, okay? Just be patient. Just be patient. I'll get there. I'll get there when I get there. Oh, my music collection's still plugged in. I have 8,152 songs and counting. That's just the main music. Let's see here. Christmas songs, I have 269 of those. Halloween songs, I have 109 songs. So I have about 8,400 songs, maybe 8,400 songs, give or take. It's a big, big library. It's a massive collection, and I just keep adding and adding and adding on. And I'm always open for song suggestions. If I don't have a song, I can add it. And so, yeah, that's that. And it keeps me busy, keeps my mind focused. But anyway, guys, we are down to the final minute of the Sunday video update. My name is Jared Fuller with an itchy eye. I love you all very much. I hope you have a fantastic week. The first full week of the new year. This is the first weekend of the new year. I hope it was great. I hope you had an awesome New Year's Eve. I'm going to do my best to make this a better year. And yes, I'm still going to be out there doing things to help people. This is not a proclamation where I'm going to announce right here and now that I'm done helping people. That's not that I'm never going to stop helping people. But most of the time it's for petty, like little things. It's like, well, you can do this yourself. you know. So yeah, it's situational, to be, frank about it. But anyway, it's 4:00. I gotta go. I love you all so much. On behalf of Dad and Amy, my name is Jared Fuller. I'll be back next week. Peace out, much love, and look after your neighbor and your friends and, other people around you, because it's important. So love y'all. Bye.